Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk prickly pear. This is one of my favorite plants to grow here in Arizona. It's something that grows for 10 years plus, giving me all the pads, all the fruit that I want from it. It's an excellent thing that I would suggest for anybody to grow in the desert. It's a gift that keeps on giving. It is something that not only grows, but thrives with the minimal rainfall and the scorching sun. Let's talk about how to collect it, propagate it, and cook it. Now, when picking a pad, the first thing you want to check for is no bug damage. Now, there's two things that's going to affect it. One is you're going to see one insect here makes a bunch of little holes like this. Now, this bunch of insect damage, that's a piece that you don't want to start out with. You're already going to start out with problems. Here's the other little insect. Please call it cochineal. If you smear it, it almost turns like a red. That is another type of insect. You don't want those as well. When harvesting a pad here, I usually take a pair of pliers and lightly grab towards the top. A little bit of pressure down, not to harm the pad. Right there at the joint, I take a knife, and here we have the fresh cut. Now, if you see in the light there how it's a bright green, almost looks like a kiwi, that's a fresh cut. Now, over time, it's going to callus over and turn a white. We're going to give you a better example of that. Example of being calloused over and turning white. In a very hot climate with no humidity, almost no humidity, it'll turn this in about 3 days. But most cases, you want to wait about 3 weeks before planting. You want to see it turn white and callus over. That way you're not getting any rot. So it goes by stages. This is now going to be the first year. This is last year's, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. So it kind of goes in a line like this. Now, what you want to do is always get the first year. So you would wait till this gets bigger and you want to harvest this pad here. That's going to be the best. Now, the smaller ones can be grilled and even put into a salad up into ones as big as my hand, 10 inches. And those ones are usually the ones that are collected to get the most yield. Now, what I love the most about this plant is it's a perennial. So what's going to happen is each year it gets bigger, it gets stronger, it gets more rooted and more adapted to this desert heat. It's able to collect and drink more water every time it does have this deep monsoon rain, and it produces more and more fruit and more pads as time goes on. These are really simple to propagate. 2/3 of the way down, you put the pad into the soil, you water it, then you water it 2 weeks later, then a month after that, it should produce roots, no problem. Now, each one of these little eyes is like an eye on a potato. You can put it down flat, upside down, all of those things. It will still root and will still start off the process of giving you another plant. It's better off to start at the bottom after it calluses, just for stability's sake. But honestly, you can just literally lay it on the ground and it will root on the bottom, produce new pads around the sides, and grow up from that even. Now, this is something that I'm not fighting. Nature is on my side. The sun has helped me produce all kinds of pads. It loves it being dry for long periods at a time. And once established, it's native. And not every single rodent and not every single bug is just coming from miles around to eat it to the ground. If this was a tomato right here, there would be nothing left, not even the roots. But it being a prickly pear, it's doing just fine. Now, this plant, I'm only going to have to really give it a little bit of nutrients and water if I like in the peak growing season, just for it to produce more fruit and produce more pads. And it can be as close as about every 2 weeks. I'm going to do it every month for probably the summer. And that's it. Water it 3 times a year with a little bit of water and nutrients, and it will continue to produce and give me fruit even if I'm not around. If I don't water it that year, it will still be, if it's established, do fine, get that monsoon rain and produce, just not as much. To me, this is an absolute must for the desert as far as sustainability off-grid. It's something natural and native. Plant here is not just being eaten to death by rodents. It's not getting killed by the sun. It's sitting here in this rocky soil, still surviving and still thriving on its own. And if I give it a little bit of extra help, it won't just survive, but it will explode in abundance. I can take that abundance for my family and my children. Let's watch me now cook some prickly pear pads and try it out. You'll be surprised. They're delicious. Let's start a fire up today and cook some prickly pear cactus. Today we're doing smaller pads and we're also doing a larger pad. We're cooking two different methods. So we're gonna cook the young tender ones, boiling them and then frying them back up. The bigger pad, we're gonna throw it straight onto the coals, let it burn off the thorns and just cut out and eat the middle. I got some nice grass underneath here that we have a lot around here. Once that starts going, should get the smaller sticks. We should have ourselves a nice fire here pretty quick. Now I'm gonna try and do is get that rock. That rock there is so it could, so we can cook on top of it. We can set our pan right here. A couple pieces of the native mesquite to give it a nice good flavor to our prickly pear pad here. We'll get this whole thing going pretty good, and then we're gonna throw on the water. Doing is we're blocking the winds coming this direction. We're just blocking up the wind on this side. That way it's not, blowing anything we don't want, any direction we don't want to go. Good job, Rich. Just like Legos. Good job, buddy. Okay, perfect. So I wet the entire area around here. I also chose an area which is nice and sandy. There's nothing really growing here. I raked everything back, have this up to block the wind. We're also down at a wash, which is blocking a lot of the wind as well. And I have 2 buckets of water in the back, just on the safe side of life, you know what I mean? But having it down in the wash is blocking most of the wind, and this is blocking the wind. And also keeping the fire small and maintained. So now we're gonna process it out by taking off all the glockets and removing all of the thorns. So what you do is just kind of scrape back and forth until you get all that off. As you can see, all these little spots here, all of that is going to be those glockets and those thorns. You work your way all the way down one side. You flip it. And now we're doing the other. This is what it should look like, all nice and clean. And you just keep doing this, how many you're gonna eat that day, how many you wanna prepare. So this being a perennial can easily 10 to 30 years this plant can grow, and every time it grows more pads for you to eat, or the pads you leave is more that grows the fruit. And over time, it just compounds, gets bigger, and provides more and more. So you're not having to do, a factory reset every single year and planting your seeds and trying to get something to germinate and grow. This is already well established, which is what you need here in desert, as in establishing something and starting it off to grow and establishing those roots is critical, and sometimes it doesn't always work. Things have vitamin A, C, K. It's alphabet soup as far as all the different things this does for you, and all the vitamins and minerals and potassium and all that it really does give for you in lowering blood sugar. These things are amazing, and they really are packed with so much. In different sizes, but pretty much the rule of thumb for a prickly pear is you want the first year, the first season here. So basically, if this was on the end here, this would be the first and this would be the second. You always want to get the first stage, the one on the end here. That's going to be the most tender, and that is one that's going to be the easiest to prepare and cook. The older they are, the longer you have to cook them. The skin on the outside starts to get tough, and you have to kind of skin it. So here we have our water here on the side, and we're just going to let that start to boil. We're going to chop and rinse all our pads. So we're going to start by giving these guys a little bit of a rinse. Now we're going to chop and throw them in. I'm going to add this directly to the coals to burn off all the prickles on the outside so they get it nice and cooked in the middle. So we're going to let that cook, keep flipping it side to side, and we're going to let that bad boy cook down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by making some long strips out of this. Also, while we're boiling it, what that does is kind of sticky when you first cut it, and we want to kind of get rid of all of that too. So we're gonna put this in here. My water's down to a light boil here, just starting to get some bubbles at the bottom. We're gonna toss it in there and we're gonna cook it down. So now we got a light boil here. I'm gonna go ahead and add my prickly pear in the water. We're gonna toss in a little bit of salt. And we're gonna let it boil. Now this is the way I'm doing it here, just more a little rustic campfire, but there is so many different ways to prepare it and so many different dishes. There is 20 different countries all the way from Sicily to northern Mexico. I believe in Mexico there's 650 recipes that involve prickly pear. You can cook it in any sort of way you want to do it. Once you cook this down and then you get it so it's cooked, they even do a lot in Asia, like in stir fries. You know, you can put yourself some soy sauce and put it over some rice. It basically, after this point, after you boil it, you got yourself a cooked vegetable and you just use it like a vegetable. It can be on a side with a steak and some Worcestershire if you want to. Really, the world's your oyster. Do it in your own special way. I cook down this pad. Let's cut it, skin it, and let's do the ultimate kid test and see what my son thinks about this prickly pear pad. Cutting it, the end off. Let's see if we can't. Ooh, it's hot. Let's let it cool. It's still kind of hot. Yeah, let's try a bite of it with me. Okay. So let's see if I can't get myself out of my own sunlight here. Let's go ahead. Take a piece. You ready? Okay, honest opinion, buddy. Take a bite. What do you think? What does it taste like?
Delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got cactus.
That's actually pretty good.
There's
I would say with a little bit of light spices to it, it really does taste like any other cooked vegetable. Honestly, that is a lot better than I was expecting. I mean, if you put this in a dish and you had some spices and other things with it, it would be amazing. Even if I just had like, I don't know, maybe puts like a little bit of lemon or just something, even a little more of a flavor to it. It's kind of bland. It's pretty good. And the smoke, it's soaked up that smoky flavor pretty good. Rich, come over here and try this out, man. You gotta try this. Now, this is honest opinion, okay? Don't tell me what I want to hear, okay, buddy? I want to know, if I serve this for dinner, what are you gonna think? Take a bite, bud.
It tastes plain, but it's delicious.
Do you taste that smoky flavor? Like, you can taste like a barbecue flavor, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can taste it too.
It tastes so good.
I want to eat it. All right, Jay, come on.
I want to eat for dinner.
Light green. We want to cook it down till it gets a different color, almost more like a light green, almost like a yellow, as those are a little bit more cooked. So these need a little more time. So these pads have changed color. They've got a real good cook to them. We got it up to a boil. They're doing just fine. We're gonna pull these out. Now we're gonna place the skillet down on top of my flat rock. We're gonna let that start to heat up by tossing in our onions. That nice sizzle. The mesquite I'm using is making an amazing smell. You can really smell it. It smells just an amazing flavor. I can't wait to try this out. Now we're gonna start dropping in some cactus here. listen to that sizzle.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah, I love a cast iron skillet.
Smell that onion smell.
You smell it cook, huh, Red?
Yeah. When we put the onion, I think it's gonna taste good.
It is. Just about this much, and toss it in, Jay. Put it on the seeds. Put it on the food. Perfect. So you put a little salt in there for some flavor. Now we're stirring this all up. Chicken eggs here we got from our birds this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these in.
Ooh, this yellow.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Doesn't it? Pretty exciting. This is my prickly pear. These are my chicken eggs. The only thing I added was salt and onion. Everything else is done here at this property. I'm pretty excited to eat what I grow, and we're gonna try it out right now and do a taste test. Try this out.
I'm so excited to eat it.
Yeah, look at that. Let's try it, Rich. Let's try this out, Rich. 1 to 10. How is it?
It's like 10.
Really? Let's try this out, buddy. It's pretty good. It soaks up the flavor of all the other vegetables and the onions. And it really takes on a whole new profile. It's delicious. Yeah.
Can I try?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get you a big old piece right here. Get you a whole, whole thing right there of it. A little bit of egg. How is that, buddy? Did you have that for breakfast? Yeah, it just cooks up just like any other vegetable in a meal, just like if it was a bell pepper. Prickly pear is a gift that keeps on giving, whether it be a delicious breakfast, whether it be the actual fruit that it provides. It keeps getting bigger and better every year. Easy to propagate, easy to grow, and does an amazing job here for being in the desert. Go ahead, give it a shot, cook it up, try it out. Tell me what you think in the comments below.